And today also the video will be off because I am in district and net connection is very poor. Okay, let us start. This slide is already, can you listen to me? Anyone
Yes, sir.
respond?
Yes, sir.
And you see the screen?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay.
Visible.
So we have discussed this slide in the last class. That is the energy considerations, and these are the equations for finding out the energy. So we have found out the time for synchronization. This is the time for synchronization T1, and during clutching operation, this is the energy expression, and due to this, so this is the equation for energy, and we have found that this now this energy so there will be heat generated in the system, and there must be some arrangement for cooling because heat ultimately affects the friction property. So there must be some arrangement for the cooling down or dissipation of heat. Now we have to consider the thermal consideration. And this thermal consideration, what I will refer here, this is part of your thermodynamics class. So there is no scope for discussion, but just I will point out what are the things here in nutshell, and I will discuss or refer only the equations, but whether I will try that you can understand the thing. Now total energy dissipated E, that will be converted into heat, frictional heat. Now, so for this there will be rising temperature, and the rising temperature, equation for the rising temperature is this, that is delta T is equal to E by mc, where m is the mass of clutch assembly, that is in kg, and C is the specific heat of clutch assembly, that is expressed in joule per kg degree centigrade, and delta is the temperature. So this is the equation, that is the rising temperature. So cooling down of the clutch assembly. Now this cooling down of the clutch assembly, that is analyzed in thermodynamics by lumped heat capacity system. So this is the thing, lumped heat capacity system. Now I will discuss what is this lumped heat capacity system. I think you will follow. Now lumped heat system analysis, what is that? For this system, it is assumed that the temperature throughout the body is uniform. That means the body, the brake system. So temperature throughout is uniform. So the temperature of such bodies are only a function of time, T is Tt. Now the heat transfer analysis based on this idealization is called lumped system analysis. So what is lumped system analysis? That is the interior temperature of the body. Interior temperature of some bodies when remain essentially uniform at all times during a heat transfer process. So inside temperature, interior temperature is uniform. So if that is the case, that system is called the lumped system analysis.
আরেকবার আগের স্লাইডটা দেখাবেন একটু?
আগে এই স্লাইডটা দেখো, তারপরে আবার ফিরে যাব। এই স্লাইডটাকে দেখো, ঠিক আছে? নাও দেয়ার ইজ এ টার্ম, এই স্লাইডটা দেখো, আবার ফিরে যাব দরকার হলে। দেয়ার ইজ এ টার্ম লাইক Biot number. Now what is Biot number? So when there is heat transfer and it is a solid body and it is exposed to atmosphere, so there will be conduction and there will be convection. It is inside another medium, so there is conduction and there is convection. Now what is Biot number? Biot number is the ratio of the internal resistance, that is conduction, to the external resistance to heat convection. So there is conduction, there is convection. So for conduction there is internal resistance and for convection there is external resistance. Now what is lumped system analysis? What I have told you, that it is an ideal system, and for this analysis it is assumed that a uniform temperature distribution throughout the body. That means uniform temperature distribution throughout a solid body means the resistance against conduction is zero. If resistance against conduction is zero, then we can tell that there is uniform temperature distribution throughout the body. So the Biot number is the ratio of internal, that means resistance against conduction to resistance against convection. So if resistance against conduction becomes zero, that will be zero by something. So for the lumped system analysis, which is an ideal condition, in that case Bi will be equal to zero. So this is an ideal case, and if the clutch assembly is very small, then this will operate. If the clutch assembly is very large, then it won't operate. Is it clear up to this?
Yes, sir.
So do you require that the earlier slide is to be again shown? Is it clear now? Who was asking for earlier slide?
হ্যাঁ ঠিক আছে, ক্লিয়ার হচ্ছে।
ঠিক আছে? So the equation of the convective heat transfer from the now the convective heat transfer. So what is the equation for convective heat transfer? The convective heat transfer equation is this, where T is instantaneous temperature at time T, TA is ambient temperature, Ti is initial temperature, A is area for heat transfer, and H is surface heat transfer coefficient. Surface heat transfer coefficient. So this is the equation for convective heat transfer. This is an equation. This equation is derived. That is part of the subject of heat transfer. So take it as granted that this is the equation of the for convective heat transfer. Okay. So taking this equation as granted, then I will show you. Go to another slide. Now look at this slide. So I will explain this slide. Now for this graph, you see this is temperature and this is time and this is cooling down. Now the figure of the graph is at time t. Say there is a point A. At time ta, the clutching operation is done. So you are applying clutch. So due to the application of clutch, the temperature will rise. But this temperature will rise for a period of time. Instantaneously, it cannot rise to a temperature Ta, but to a temperature T1. But we assume that the temperature rises to T1 when at time Ta the clutching is done. Now this is the cooling process. This is the cooling process. So A, B, C is the path as a asymptotic. So this A, B, C is the graph, is the line through which the cooling down occurs. Okay, cooling down occurs, but we have assumed it that temperature rises instantaneously, but it will occur through a period of time. Obviously, you will accept this. Okay. Now this cooling down will occur along this path A, B, C. Okay. But if at TB there is another clutching operation, so it has cooled down from T1 to up to this region. Up to this region, then again at time TB, if you again apply clutch, then from this point temperature will again rise up to D. Okay, so this way, and this is the equation of the earlier graph. The graph which I have shown you, that is the equation for the earlier graph. Okay, so at T2, so at TB you again apply clutch and it rises to T2. That means it is interrupted here. Cooling down was going on. It is interrupted at point B. It is interrupted at point B. Then the temperature will again rise through this dotted line at point D to a temperature of T2, and then it will again cool down. Okay, so this is the thing. So if a second clutching operation occurs at TB, the temperature will rise to T2 along the dashed line from B and then begin an exponential drop along D. So there will be exponential drop along D as before. So frequency of clutch, then you again apply clutch, say at TC. If you again apply clutch, then it will start from at this point. It will start from at this point, or if you again apply clutch here at any time here, then it will start the rise of temperature will start from this point and it will go up. Okay, so what the frequency of clutching operation is an important factor here. So this is the graph of the earlier curve. So is it clear, this convective heat transfer system? If any question?
Yes, sir, clear.
No question? Anyone? Okay. So this is the thing. This is the thing, that is convective heat transfer. So this is the equation of the exponential curve. This is the equation of the convective heat transfer, and we can find out the rise of temperature from here. The rise of temperature you can find out from this equation. Okay. So here we just conclude our discussion on clutch. Okay. Now we'll start brake, but I won't discuss brake too much. The chapter of brake is very small. It is only 17 slide, you see. I will discuss just introduction, 3-4 slide, then I will end today, and there will be discussion on the class test. Now what it is first, this is the brake. You have an idea about brake. So we always use brake, whether it is two-wheeler or three-wheeler or four-wheeler, whatever it may be, or in the hoisting system. Not only in automobiles, in the hoisting system we have to use brake. Okay, so we are discussing brake today. Now what it is, you have an idea. Now what it is, the brake is a mechanical device used to absorb the energy possessed by a moving system by means of friction. So there is a moving system, you like to stop it or you like to slow down it. So brake is to be applied, and when brake is applied, the energy is absorbed and by means of friction. So either it slows down as per our requirement, or it completely stops, or for a hoisting system makes a system position at rest. Suppose there is a hoisting system, so there are rollers by which the things are being lifted. So you like to keep it at some particular level, particular elevation. So you have to apply brake. Okay. So these are the brakes. Now the energy, what are the types of energy? If it is a moving body on the surface, then it will be only K. But if it is a moving body, that means if it is a system for lifting a body, then both K and P are involved. Okay, both K and P are involved. So clutches and brakes, what are the difference between these two then? Clutches and brakes connect and disconnect driving and driven shafts. Okay, but clutches makes the driven member initially at rest. The driven member is initially at rest. Now what clutch do? It makes the driven member, which is initially at rest, to rotate. Makes it rotate with equal speed of the driver. That means there is a term of synchronization. So when they are completely synchronized, then the speeds are equal. So this is this is the objective of clutch. This is the purpose of using clutch. Now what is brake? It makes the transmission shaft initially rotating to come to rest or slows down, whatever it may be. So at the final position, in both cases, complete synchronization occurs, allowing no relative motion. So if you apply brake to stop it, then there is also complete synchronization. That means the speed becomes 0. And in case of clutch, when you try to make the driven element rotate, then there is also the complete synchronization. Is it clear?
Sir, what does it mean by complete synchronization here?
Complete synchronization means in case of brake, the speed of both the thing are 0. This is called complete synchronization. When you are stopping the driven one, then not slowing down, but when you have stopped it, then there is complete synchronization. Clear? The brake.
Sir, sir, is the brake applied after the clutch is applied?
Brake applied after the clutch is applied. That is the you can also there is clutch is being operated, and instantaneously you like to slow it down.
Yes.
Okay, then you can apply clutch. You can apply brake.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Now the classification. We will discuss mechanical brake, but there are other brakes also, and just for mentioning. So there are mechanical brakes operated by mechanical devices on the basis of shape of friction materials. There are some classification. One is block brake, another one is internal or external shoe brake, and the third one is band brake. So these are the types of brake which we will discuss, and these are mechanical devices. Okay, so block brake, internal or external shoe brake, and back brake and band brake. These 3 type of brakes we will discuss here. Now there are others: hydraulic and pneumatic brakes. Hydraulic and pneumatic, by the name it is clear that they are operated by fluid pressure, oil or air. And there is electric brakes, that is operated by magnetic forces. It includes magnetic particle, hysteresis, and eddy current brakes. And we are not discussing it here, so we will discuss these 3 type of brakes. So one more slide I will discuss today. That is energy absorption, and that is also very easy here also. So now when a moving mechanical system of mass m is slowed down from a velocity v1 to v2, the Ke absorbed is this thing, obviously. So this is for moving body on a plane, and this is for a rotating body when it is rotating body. So, and for P, for a falling body, it will be equal to mgh. So I equal to mass moment of inertia of the rotating body, K is radius of gyration of the body, omega is angular velocity of the body, and h is the distance through which the body falls. Now the total energy absorbed, obviously this equation is clear to you, that is torque multiplied by the angle. Okay, so E equal to mt theta. The total energy E absorbed by the brake is the sum of the above energies, and this is the sum of the above energies when whether only K will be there or whether Ke and Pe will be there, that depends on the system. So the total energy absorbed is E, and that is the sum of the above this, and that is will be equal to mt multiplied by theta. Mt is the braking torque, and theta is the angle through which the brake drum rotates during braking. So how long it will rotate? That is the theta. So mt multiplied by theta is the total energy. Okay. So there are different types of brakes, and I am not going to discuss this today. So up to this, is it clear? The very simple things so far discussed, I think they are all clear to you, is it?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. So I will stop today here. Now the question about the class test. The question about the class test is, that is the date is already fixed, is it? What is that date?
Sir, it's 14th of December.
14th of December, sir.
14 December, okay. Then on 14th, what I will do, I will give you an assignment, okay?
Okay, sir.
And how long you will take time. So say the assignment is for, if it were offline, then only 1 hour would have been given, is it? So 1 hour problem, 1 hour question, which takes 1 hour time, that will be given. So how long you will take? That means you will solve it, and then without discussing among yourself, you will send it to me by email. Okay. So how long you will take? 2 hours?
Yes, sir.
Is it
Sir,
okay?
if there is no connectivity issue, then 2 hours is fine. But sir, if there is some connectivity issue, then the one having it will contact you.
So my point is whether 2 hours is sufficient or not. Is it sufficient? There is a problem of connectivity. I am also facing that. So you will also face that. There is no doubt about it. But still, I am asking you, how long it will take?
Actually, so will the question be easy?
Considering all these things. The question will be for
Sir?
when question will be given, that will be given, that will be uploaded in the group. Okay. The question will be uploaded in the group.
The question standard would be easy, sir.
Question will be easy or not?
Yes, sir.
As you face in your class test, offline class test, the question will be like that.
Okay, sir. Okay.
And the question will be, obviously it is a open book test. Okay.
Problem
if
test
it
or
is an
sir?
open book test, you cannot expect. My point is, you just listen to me. Obviously, it is an open book test. I am giving you home assignment. Yes,
Yes, sir.
it is
Yes.
an open book test. So you cannot expect that for a offline when you have to sit in M11, the question will not be like that.
Okay, sir.
So I will like to see that whether the things you have perceived. This I will like to see by putting question. Am I clear to you?
Yes, sir.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
Okay. My intention is clear.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
You just see that the position of connection.
Can you give like 2.5 hours or 3 hours, like,
Hours,
sir,
sir.
for emergency time, sir? Like,
Huh?
if there is some connectivity issue, then for that,
Kamojit, you are only late. You are always late comer. So this is why you are you like to take more time. Huh? Is it?
no, sir, I'm not
You are late comer to
always
the
late,
class
sir.
always,
Today
and
I came late.
you haven't.